Bought something you instantly regretted, or stuck with a losing investment just because you'd already spent so much? You're not alone. Our brains are wired to take mental shortcuts, what psychologists call cognitive biases. These hidden bugs in our thinking help us save energy, but they often lead us astray. Today, we'll decode 7 of the most powerful cognitive biases that sabotage our decisions, drawing on insights from behavioral science legends like Daniel Kahneman and Richard Thaler. By the end, you'll have practical tools to spot and outsmart your own mental blind spots. Start with a core concept from Daniel Kahneman's groundbreaking book, Thinking, Fast and Slow. Our minds operate with 2 systems. System 1 is fast, intuitive and automatic, great for quick decisions, but prone to bias. System 2 is slow, rational and effortful, ideal for complex problems, but it takes energy. Most of our daily choices are made by System 1, which means we're constantly at risk of predictable errors. Recognizing which system is in control is the first step to better thinking. First up, confirmation bias. Imagine you're researching a new car. If you already believe one brand is best, you'll unconsciously seek out reviews that support your opinion and ignore negative ones. This bias is everywhere, from politics to investing. Kahneman and Tversky showed that we're wired to reinforce what we already believe. The defense: make it a habit to actively search for information that challenges your views. Ask yourself, what evidence would prove me wrong? Next, the sunk cost fallacy. Ever kept watching a boring movie just because you'd already paid for the ticket, or held onto a failing stock because you've invested so much? This bias traps us by making past investments feel relevant to current decisions. The classic experiments by Kahneman and Tversky revealed how hard it is to walk away. The fix: ask yourself, knowing what I know now, would I start this today? If not, it's time to let go. Anchoring bias is everywhere, especially in negotiations. Picture a car salesperson who starts with a high price. That first number, no matter how arbitrary, anchors your expectations and shapes your final decision. Behavioral economists like Richard Thaler have shown how powerful this effect is. To defend against it, always do your homework. Calculate a fair value range before you hear any offers so you're not swayed by the initial anchor. Availability heuristic tricks us into thinking that if something comes to mind easily, it must be common. For example, after hearing about a plane crash on the news, you might overestimate the risk of flying, even though statistics show it's safer than driving. Kahneman's research highlights how vivid stories distort our sense of probability. The defense: rely on hard data and base rates, not just what's most memorable or dramatic. Dunning-Kruger effect is a fascinating bias where people with low ability overestimate their competence, while experts often doubt themselves. Think of a new chess player who's convinced they're a prodigy after a few wins versus a grandmaster who's painfully aware of their limits. The solution: regularly seek feedback from trusted experts. Honest, informed critique is the best way to calibrate your self-perception. Loss aversion means that losing something hurts about twice as much as gaining the same thing feels good. This is why investors panic during market drops, or why we hold on to old gadgets we never use. Kahneman and Tversky studies found that people will go to great lengths to avoid losses, even when it's irrational. The defense: reframe losses as missed gains or necessary costs for progress. This mindset shift can help you make bolder, smarter choices. IKEA effect describes our tendency to overvalue things we've built ourselves. Whether it's a piece of furniture or a business project, we're biased to think our creations are worth more than they really are. Behavioral scientist Dan Ariely found that people will pay more for their own DIY projects than for professionally made ones. The defense: compare your creation to market value or get a third-party opinion to keep your judgment in check. Let's tie these biases together with a real-world scenario. Buying a car. You might anchor on the first price you hear, seek out reviews that confirm your favorite brand, and overvalue the trade-in you've fixed up yourself. You'll feel the pain of losing a deal more than the joy of saving money, and you might stick with a bad offer just because you've spent hours negotiating. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to making smarter, more rational choices. Behavioral scientists like Kahneman, Tversky, and Thaler have revolutionized our understanding of decision-making. Their experiments reveal that everyone, no matter how smart, is vulnerable to these mental shortcuts. The good news: by learning about these biases, you can start to spot them in your own life and make more deliberate, thoughtful decisions. Knowledge is your first line of defense. How do you defend against all these biases? The answer is to force yourself into System 2 thinking. Before making big decisions, create checklists, slow down, and add friction points, like a mandatory waiting period or second opinion. These strategies help you override your brain's autopilot and engage your rational, analytical mind. As Kahneman says, nothing in life is as important as you think it is while you are thinking about it. Is a practical checklist to help you outsmart your own biases. 1. Pause before deciding. 2. Seek out opposing viewpoints. 3. Rely on data, not just stories. 4. Ask if past investments are clouding your judgment. 5. Get feedback from experts. 6. Reframe losses as learning opportunities. 7. Compare your creations to objective standards. Use these steps to bring more clarity and confidence to your choices. Recognizing your brain's hidden bugs isn't about feeling bad, it's about empowerment. By understanding how cognitive biases work, you can make smarter choices, avoid costly mistakes, and even help others do the same. Behavioral science gives us the tools to take control of our thinking, one decision at a time. The more you practice, the sharper your judgment becomes. Sum up, cognitive biases are mental shortcuts that help us navigate the world, but they can also lead us astray. By learning to recognize and defend against these 7 common biases, you can make more rational, confident decisions. Remember, the best defense is to slow down, question your instincts, and engage your analytical mind. Your brain's hidden bugs don't have to control you. Awareness is the first step to mastery.